I'm Lori Harder, and I'm going to chat with you tonight all about how to thrive during the holidays because this is a really tough time of year for a lot of people, myself included. And the number one thing that I want to talk to you about is just getting major clarity on what we're going into the holiday season thinking and what we're going to have a plan and an action plan. So I have my list of notes here. I wrote down every single thing that I do and that I've learned over the years so that I could share it with you because I want you to not only be able to enjoy the holiday season, but I want you to thrive during it. I want you to go through it and feel incredible and get to your goals and just really be present because this time of year, let's get really, really honest. It is super stressful and it can bring up a lot of emotions, and we're around a lot of people that we're not normally around. And, not everybody is people that we want to be around. We have a lot of different things going on at work. So number one that we're going to start with, I think I have 10 on my list here. Number one that we're going to start with is choosing your battles. So what do I mean by that? What do I mean by choosing your battles? So it's really about planning what parties you're going to go to. So I know that we have a million different things coming up. Maybe at work you have a party. Maybe you have a party with your family. Maybe you have a party with distant family. Maybe you have parties of friends that you run into, and maybe you have parties of whatever it may be that's coming up. All of these different things is choosing which ones you're going to go to. So for me, I'll look at a list of whether I have 3 parties that year, or whether I have 10 parties that year, and I look at the ones that I have to go to. So obviously your close family, distant family, maybe you can say no, or maybe you can send a gift, or whatever you want to do. But it's really about just trying to limit all of the different things that you have to do, because what does that do? It causes a lot of stress, and it's opportunity for more food, it's opportunity for more alcohol, it's opportunity that you have to give more gifts. So we want to look at this as a joyous time, not a really stressful time. So choose your battles. Make a list of all the parties, that are coming up or that you got invited to, and start flexing that no muscle. The more that you say no, the more things in your life you're actually saying yes to. You're saying yes to more enjoyment. You're saying yes to being more present, and you're saying yes to your goals throughout the holidays. So this is the number one thing that if you're going to do anything during the holidays, start saying no more, but really being present at the things that you say yes to. So can we take a vow that we're not going to be people pleasers this holiday season, and that we are going to make sure that we are present and that we are fully there for our families and the things that we do say yes to? Because a lot of times when we become people pleasers, yes, I'll bring those cookies to my kid's event. Yes, I'll cook everything for, this party that we have planned for the family. It just keeps piling up, and all of a sudden you feel like a crazy whack job. So we really just want to make sure that we're choosing our battles. So, ask when we do go to those parties. The number one thing that I do is ask what I can bring. If they say, oh, you're in charge of bringing dessert, or you're in charge of bringing the appetizer, make it healthy. If you can't think of something healthy and you're worried that you're going to be, everyone's going to not want to eat your dish because it's healthier, they'll be upset that you brought something healthy. Let's disguise it, shall we? So this is really what I'm a master at, is disguising healthy food and making it still delicious. So if you guys are not sure what to make, you can go to my website, busygirl.tv, and there is a slew. I haven't used that word in a while. There is a ton of free recipes, tons of holiday recipes, great sides, and I promise you, people do not know that they are healthy. I have definitely brought these things to parties, and they've been the first thing gone, and people have no clue. So, if you are going to go to parties and you want to make sure that you have something healthy, make sure you bring it. Ask how you can be helpful. Not only will you be super popular, but you'll have something healthy to always grab at. So some more tips for choosing your battles before you go to parties especially is drink tons of water, and I even eat before I go. So this way, unless it's like a huge dinner or something like that, the number one thing is don't go hungry. So if you're starving, obviously what's going to happen? We're going to see the entire dessert table. We're going to see the cheese platters. I don't know if you're anything like me, but if there's a cheese platter around, I pretty much could eat pounds of cheese. I'm from the Midwest. I lived in Wisconsin many years. This time of year was extremely challenging because my family puts on a massive buffet. So I really do have what I think is some of the best tips, and it's really about mentally preparing yourself. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. So set your intentions ahead of time. What does this mean? Setting your intentions ahead of time means you really have to picture yourself at the event or at the party. And if you don't want to drink that night, or maybe if you want to have one drink or 2 drinks tops, this has to be in your head fixed before you walk through that door. You can't just walk through the door and say, I'm going to try to be good tonight. What does try to be good mean? That's like me saying, I'm going to try to go to the gym, but walk in there and have no idea what I'm going to do that day and planning it as I get there and go along. I'm not going to have a very successful gym date. So it's really about planning ahead. If I walk into a party and don't set my intentions of, I'm going to have 1 cocktail a night or 2 cocktails, or maybe I don't care and it's my night, that I'm going to say, you know what, I'm going to just go for it and have 3 or 4. I don't do that very often, but if that's your intention and you worked really hard that, for that whole month or whatever you did, but set your intention ahead of time. A lot of times I'll have to say, you know what, tonight I'm not going to have any cocktails. I'm not going to have any cocktails. I'm not going to have any cocktails. And I promise myself, no cocktails, just sparkling water. So now, when I walk through that door, I'm solid. I'm good. I know I'm not going to have drinks that night. Or, hey, I'm going to let myself have dessert. Or I'm going to have 1 cookie. Or whatever that is, just set your intention is my point. So if you don't have clear-cut intentions on what you're going to do, then it's going to be all out free for all. And I've been there. It took me years and years and years, and I'm not going to lie, I still have major screw ups. What do we do if we have one of those nights? So let's say we've got 3 parties left and we had a major screw up to begin with. Well, what normally happens is we start going down that road and we're on that crazy train, and we already feel like it is just useless to even recover. So what ends up happening is people just start the season, and maybe they have 3 weeks left of the season, and they just indulge. And then Jan 1, you wake up and you feel like you cannot recover from what you have done. We're not going to go there this year. So we're going to learn to clean up our messes. Even if they happen, it's okay, because we're going to forgive. I do want to talk about what happens if we go there. So let's say you go to a party and you don't have your intentions set, and you just indulge like a crazy person. And you wake up the next day and, you are feeling so bad. You're feeling so guilty. What do? What I do is I always just stop. I stop to really forgive myself, because the more that you hold that anger and resentment at yourself, the more we self-sabotage, the more we say, screw it. And we end up sabotaging because we're mad at ourselves. So we make ourselves feel even more pain by doing the thing that causes us pain. And that is indulging in the first place. So we just pile more pain on top of what was already a painful experience for us. So something that I do is I wake up and I just try to get back on my normal routine. The quicker that you can move or take a walk or get to the gym or drink a lot of water or have a healthy breakfast, the better. So if you can just make it through the first half of your day by making healthier decisions, you're going to clean that up a lot quicker. But just take a minute and say, it's okay. I forgive myself. I had fun last night. Enjoy it for what it was. Instead of saying, why did I do that? I just keep repeating this cycle. I'm so mad at myself. I'm doing it again. That's how this starts, is by holding that resentment for yourself. So the quicker that we can forgive, do a meditation if you know how to do it. I'm going to talk about that later. The sooner that you're going to be able to clean that up and stop this vicious cycle that we do every year. That's why we keep going down these tracks. So number 2 on my list here is to keep a routine. So the number 1 reason that people feel stress this time of year is because we're out of our normal routine. So if you have a regular workout routine planned, you're going to notice that it's a lot easier to just stick with it if you have something already prepared. If you don't have something already prepared, I'm going to talk to you about my Busy Bodies workout program at the end here. But if you If you do have something, plan it ahead of time. Literally look at your month, see what days you think you can work out. Look at your week ahead. If you don't schedule months out, always look at your week ahead. If you don't do that, at least take 5 minutes every single night and look at your day ahead to keep up your workout routine. If you don't have a hardcore workout routine, or if you do, but you're short on time. So what do we do when we're short on time? Because as the holidays get closer, what happens? Our time gets less and less. Maybe we have to fit in shopping. Maybe we know there's more traffic, etc. What you can do is find a go-to 15 to 30 minute workout, maybe right in the 20-minute range that you find you can do. You can literally find one on my website, busygirl.tv. Again, I have a lot of 20-minute workouts. I have a 22-minute body blast that freaking rocks, that you will absolutely feel completely exhausted, get a great full body workout in the 22 minutes. But find that go-to workout, keep it bookmarked on your computer or on your phone, or memorize it and write it down and use that every single time you don't think you're going to be able to work out. So if it's a day that you're just packed, just have your go-to workout, because I'll tell you, if you just keep your body moving for 20 minutes a day through this season, you are going to not only make way better decisions throughout the day, you're going to keep your stress down, you're going to notice that you just feel so much better because you're releasing those endorphins, you're helping deal with stress, and a body in motion stays in motion. So when you get back to your normal routine, you're not going to feel that dreaded feeling of, oh my God, I took so much time off. How am I ever going to get back to what I was doing? And, you're not going to feel like, you have 2 months to make up for, or a month to make up for. You're not going to go back to, that whole 2 weeks where your muscles feel so incredibly sore. It's just hard to get over that wall. So body in motion stays in motion. Keep it in motion, even if it's for 15 minutes a day. Your life will be so much easier. And this is all about creating more flow in your day. So when you wake up, you say, what do I want today? What do I want to feel like? What's going to make me feel that way? So keeping your body in motion, keeping that routine, just keep moving. That's all I'm trying to say. Just keep moving every day, even if you can just carve out that 15 to 30 minutes. Number 3, find time for yourself. Do you hear me, moms? Stop what you're doing. Put down your 57 things. Put down your children and all the spatulas. I know you're cooking right now and doing work and a million other things, but you have to find time for yourself, because what happens this time of year is there is, sorry, something in my eye. There's more people everywhere. There's more people at your jobs. There's more people coming over to your house. There's family staying with you. I guarantee it. Maybe your in-laws are there. You're just constantly busy. Maybe you have more people over. Maybe you have more parties. Maybe you're just constantly around more people this time of year. So it's very important that we stop and take time out for ourselves. Give yourself more time to get around. There's more traffic this time of year. So if you don't want to be banging on your horn and banging your forehead against your steering wheel because you're late for something, give yourself a little bit more time. It'll create a lot less stress in your life. You just have to plan for what you know is coming, instead of just planning like we normally do and going out and freaking out because it's the holiday season. And the thing that I want to make sure we understand in this webinar is, just because it's the holiday season and we're super excited about, we want to enjoy people, we also want to keep our goals in front of us. So it's really about making sure that we visualize those goals every day, whether you are as quick as visualizing your goals just while you're taking a shower in the morning, really letting yourself think ahead to the future of why you want, maybe why you want to reach that health and fitness goal, why you want to reach that financial goal, whatever it may be, bettering your relationships. Just keep that in the forefront of your mind, because it's really easy for these next 2 or 3 months to just say, oh, screw it, and just forget about it and push it back. But what happens is it just mounts up, and in the end, it's ultimately still there and it's waiting for us, and it's just creating more stress if we just keep pushing it away. So along with finding time for yourself, I want to tell you guys a little bit about meditation, which, if you don't do it yet, it is so incredibly amazing. It's not only a way just to have that time to yourself and to block everything out, but it's a great way to reduce stress in our life, to stay really clear, to sleep better. Meditation makes you feel more rested. So even if you're doing 5, 10, or if you're maybe already a meditator and you do 30 or 60 minutes, you can build up to that way in the future. You're just going to feel more calm. And who doesn't want to feel more calm this time of year? We all do. So as far as meditating goes, you can always Google different meditations. You can do guided meditations. Gabrielle Bernstein has a ton. Louise Hay has a ton. You can pretty much just put meditation in the Google bar and find something. And if you're new to it, it's really, and you're like, I'm not sure I'm a meditation person, that's a little too woo-woo for me. Meditation is really, it's got incredible scientific proof behind it, just about really calming you down and de-stressing you, because you're just blocking everything out of your mind and trying to slow it down, because we have so much in this culture that just overwhelms us, from our computers to our phones to traffic to sensory overload to just the mass amount of decisions and choices that we have around us, and it's constant sensory overload. So all it does is it just kind of creates that clearing. So a little tip for meditation: if you've never done it before, something you can even start with is just sit in a comfortable seated position. I like to put my fingertips together in my lap and put on some meditation or spa music and just try to focus on clearing your mind. So a million different thoughts are going to pop up. It's not about stopping your thoughts, because there's no way to completely stop your thoughts. Your thoughts will always pop into your mind. It's truly about just trying to limit those thoughts and start focusing on just one thing. So whether you want to say a mantra with it, if you're familiar to meditation, you know about mantras. If you're not familiar, you can say something like relax. Usually 2 syllables are nice. Relax, relax, relax in your mind. Just calm. And just breathe in for 4 counts to start expanding your belly button out while you breathe in. So breathe in through your nose for 4 counts, out through your mouth for 4 counts. And then you're just going to close your eyes, because what that does is it just stops everything from coming in that you're seeing. And then you can just focus, set a timer for 5 minutes to start. Close your eyes and just say relax. Or another mantra is Satnam, or some people like to say I am love. Just something to slow those thoughts down and just be with yourself for a while. So if you're new to meditation, give that a try. You might just like it. You might just end up falling in love with meditation. Maybe you'll be setting your timer for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So number 4 is to keep your goals present. So like I said, don't just write this time of year off. It's about just keeping those things, maybe even if you have to size or chunk down what you were doing, if you have been going towards your goals as life gets busier, just make sure that you're setting realistic goals for yourself. So I just came from a Jack Canfield event, and he always talks about the rule of 5. So instead of making a to-do list with, and you're guilty of this, 15 or 20 plus things on your to-do list, do your top 5 every single day. What are those top 5 that you need to get done that day? And just focus on those. Feel no regret. Don't feel bad if you don't get other ones done. Just keep on putting your top 5 at the top. If you get more done, that is awesome. But just really remember that this is a lifestyle. So if it's a lifestyle, it's not about being perfect. Absolutely not. There is no such thing as being perfect. If you feel like, I had somebody write me, and this was so me before, so I can completely relate. And they wrote, I can be spot on. I can be perfect for Monday through Friday, but the weekend comes and I'm just horrible. Well, the thing that was happening to me is when I start thinking that I have to be perfect all through the week, especially, I just go crazy. Like all I can think about is the things that I can't have, or I'm not having, or I can't wait for my cheat day, or whatever that is. And even just those words and those thoughts, it kind of kept me in this prison of thinking that I had to be perfect. And when I wasn't, I just went crazy. So when I started to realize that I could have little things, I could indulge, I could eat, is something that I wanted every single day and enjoy that. And that is being perfect. That is perfectly working for you. So if you can't let go of that word, it's whatever works perfect for you. And honestly, what works perfect for me is not being perfect. The second I think that I need to be or be strict, or if that even enters the realm of my thoughts that, oh, I wasn't good here, so I really need to restrict and pull it in, and I'm just going to be perfect for this amount of days, I end up doing something completely opposite of what I want and self-sabotaging, because those words alone are enough to drive an imperfect person crazy. And guess what? We're all imperfect. So embrace it, own it, love it. It's a great thing to be. It's beautiful. Nobody likes perfect, right? So it's a practice. That's something huge that I want to say is all of this is a practice. We call it a practice. If you've heard of things, a meditation practice, a yoga practice, a lifestyle practice, it's a practice because every single day is a classroom. I learn something every day. I make mistakes every single day. And I wouldn't say that I become more perfect at this lifestyle at all. All I do is I start to know my triggers more. I start to know that I can recover a little bit quicker because I forgive myself quicker, where before I would just hold resentment against myself for so long. And now I can say, hey, how about you go easy on yourself instead of falling back into that vicious cycle of hating yourself for screwing up. You're here with me. So number 5, surround yourself by a community of supportive people. This is huge for me because I used to think that I had to do this alone. And the more that I thought I had to do this alone and that I didn't support, the more I wasn't supported. So I really reached out online. And a major thing is if you want to be supported, you have to reach out and support other people as well. So we can't just take. We have to give and take. And it's a beautiful relationship. So finding an online community where you can give and take. Joining classes. This was huge for me when I lived back in the Midwest, and I still do it out here now that I live in California the past 2 years. In the winter, go to places outside of your house. Switch up your scenery, because if you're indoors or if you work indoors or you're stuck indoors, it's really easy to just feel, start feeling maybe kind of tired, lethargic, depressed, whatever. It's great to get out and be around like-minded people. So start looking at classes. I don't care if you've never done yoga, go do a beginner yoga class, go do a dance class, see what your gym offers. Start asking people that you randomly meet at these classes, maybe to go to lunch or to meet up with you at that class again at a further time. Make unbreakable appointments and make them with other people. So if there's someone in your life that is into fitness or maybe is interested in dabbling or has an adventurous side, just go ask them. I'm sure they'd love to go with you because winters are long and we all struggle during this time. So if you can find a power posse and power partners to go with you, do it. If you can find an online community, I'm going to talk more about my online community at the end of this webinar. But if you can find an online community, hopefully it's mine, that you can get together with and find friends, find those power partners and talk every day about your plan, check in with them, good, bad, ugly, all of the above. That is what it's all about, is creating those friendships that you have to show up for. So it's not only about showing up for those other people, but when you start showing up for them, you're showing up for yourself and they're showing up for you. So I could not do this alone. I mean, a lot of people look at my Facebook posts and they say, oh, thank you so much for that post today, or whatever it is. I have to be honest with you, those posts are for me and they benefit you, and that also benefits me, which makes me even happier. I know that I have to show up for you. You are creating accountability for me. So the more that I know people are relying on me, even when I first started doing them and it was 1 and 2 people, if I know you're relying on me or one person clicks like, you better believe tomorrow I want to show up for that one person. So create places in your life that you have to show up for. Then you wake up and you have purpose. So that's what these groups are all about. It's not only about you being supported, it's about you having to show up and them being supported. And it's just like this beautiful boomerang, and it keeps just coming around and coming around. So number 6, spend time giving back with others. So a lot of times this season can get stressful because we think that it is all about gifts and having to shop, and we get kind of caught up in all of the things that we see on television. We forget about what this time of year is really about. It's about spending time with each other. and being really present and being full of gratitude for what we have and the sacrifices that were made for us. So, a beautiful way to keep this season happy and healthy and full of gratitude is to be the person who steps up and creates groups of people to go give back. So, something that we used to love to do was get a group of friends together, like start a Facebook page if you want to, start a Facebook invite that says, who bell ringing group or whatever that is. So we're going to create all these different groups who go bell ringing for the Salvation Army. You can go right on their website and see all the different, believe me, they have plenty of people in your area, wherever you are, that you can get groups together. You can stand 2 people at a time, bell ringing, go get your mochas. It's so much fun just to go and make people's evenings and ring bells. Otherwise, you can just volunteer whatever is pulling at you to go and do. Volunteer, sponsor a family, get groups together. And, if you're going to sponsor a family and maybe you don't have all the money to sponsor a family, or maybe you want to do this in a big group, again, you can do a Facebook invite, or you can call all your friends and you can go shopping together. Go shopping for this family and donate all of that. It's so much fun. There's so many fun things you can do that don't have to do with just drinking or food. So, or buying things, shopping, etc. Big gifts, feeling like we just have to buy, make people happy with certain things. We can really just be super present with what we're able to do, and giving back is so much fun. So number 7, save money by making gifts. Yes, I know what you're thinking. We're not making some weird popsicle arts and crafts stick star for the top of someone's tree. But if you're into that thing, awesome. That's cool too. Don't want to knock anybody who does that. But really, this can be really cool. So, you guys, if you have a Pinterest account or anything like that, you can just Google fun, crafty gift ideas. Something that I think rocks that I would love to get and that I've actually gotten is take a mason jar. So just go buy, if you have a bunch of people to buy for, or maybe a bunch of people at work, go buy a bunch of either little mason jars or big mason jars, and buy some really pretty of that, string for around it, or a ribbon with some cards. And you can put your favorite recipe on the outside of the mason jar, and then put some of the ingredients in it. So maybe you're going to give them your favorite overnight oats recipe. So put some oatmeal and some of your favorite dried fruit and stuff like that inside there, and tell them how to make the overnight oats. You could do this with healthy cookies. You can do this with pretty much anything that you can think of, the dry ingredients in the jar. It doesn't have to be all the ingredients. It can just be some of the base ingredients, so that you have the jar with the favorite recipe, and maybe put why you love the person inside the card too. That's always so nice, just to see something nice inside of there. So another one, since I'm into the mason jar thing, is to make your own sugar scrubs. Just Google it online. You can do this with the big crystal sugar in the raw and coconut oil, and it keeps for a certain amount of weeks, and you can add a bunch of different things to it. But just Google making your own sugar scrubs for in the shower, and you can, again, put that little card and what's made in it, and why you think they're so sweet. That's a good one. And then you can also do, this is a really fun one, maybe for family or a best friend. So make a jar and take 30 different note cards and put 30 different beautiful things about that person that they pick every single day out of the jar for 30 days of why they're awesome, or why they rock, or why you love them, so that every day they have a daily reminder of why you love them in that jar. So it's really beautiful personal gifts that you can do to save money, and that I would just die if I got. Those are so awesome. So number 8, create new traditions. So if a lot of your traditions, like my family's in the past, we've created new tradition since, revolved around only food and wine, which is totally fun. But if you want to start getting a healthier holiday and you want to start playing games and going for walks, you're going to have to be the person to step up and do that. So you're going to have to plan ahead, maybe let them know, if there's kids in the family, take everybody out, make a snowman, have a snowball fight, go sledding. If you're all together all day long and you're just inside, guess what's going to happen? It's going to be like a feeding frenzy all day long. So just start creating new traditions, and they'll end up having a blast because you're moving around, you're releasing endorphins, great memories are made. Tell them you want to take them outside for some beautiful snowy pictures. Get a camera and just take a bunch of fun snapshots and put them in an album or set them to music on Animoto.com. So much fun to just take all your pictures, set it to music. Tell them you want to make a video of all of their memories, and they'll for sure get outside. It'll be such a blast. Number 9, shift your attitude to gratitude. Now, that sounds nice and happy and pleasant, but this time of year can get really stressful. And what I want to remind you is every single day we have to wake up and remember that without gratitude, there is no joy. So we have to say what we're grateful for, whether it's, all you can think of is 3 things in the morning. Just keep going as much as you possibly can, because the truth of the matter is that we are so fortunate this time of year. If you're on a computer, we're lucky to even have a computer. So, I heard some really astounding facts that I think it's like 80% of people in the world don't have food, shelter, and a bed to sleep in. So be so grateful and start with those 3. Because we truly are so blessed in this country. So just wake up and say, what we're grateful for, and for the family that we have around us, and for the fact that we can make the choices. We have the freedom to make healthy choices. We have the freedom to have healthy food and fresh water. And that is so big. I know it's easy when family fights, or when things get crazy, or when we feel super stressed, or when credit cards are maxed. But just remember what we do have and shift it, and remember that we have the choices. We can go back to everything we talked about on this list and make those choices. So number 10, enjoy, be present, and keep it in perspective. Honestly, we're really only dealing with a few days here. So if you can, keep your normal routine as much as possible, and understand that even though it's Thanksgiving, or maybe you have a couple Thanksgivings to celebrate, plan ahead, keep those intentions, and just try to stay as much in that routine as possible, and keep touching base with your online community. Just really put it in perspective. Stop future tripping, as they call it, and freaking out over what you have to do in that party and that to-do list and all those gifts. And just think of what you have to do that day, and be grateful for what that were needed and what we have to do that day. So like I said, rule of 5, doesn't have to all be done at once. Online shopping is really easy too. So just put it back into perspective. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed. There was a time in my life when I used to go for a walk with my husband in the morning, we still do this, but there was a time when I'd be on that walk, be an hour-long walk, and all I could think about was everything that I had to do for that day. And it was the most stressful walk on the planet. It was actually horrendous. And I was stressing him out. I wasn't present. I was getting anxiety. I was like a basket case. I hope that you can relate to this. It wasn't until I learned to just be present and really put my life in perspective, and to be grateful for what I could do that day, and really know that honestly, at the end of the day, if things don't get done, life still goes on. My life is still going to be great. And it's really the only stress that I feel is the stress that I put upon myself. I'm going to say that again. The only stress that I feel is the stress that I put upon myself, or that I allow myself to feel. Because if something happened to my family, guess what happens? Your life is put into perspective real fast. All of those other things that seem important aren't important. So just remember, we're not guaranteed tomorrow. And this time of year is supposed to be a joyous one. So remember that we are lucky to be able to pick and choose what we do, and what our choices are through the holiday season. So what I want to wrap up with is, we have an amazing program, and it is the Busybodies online program, and I'm launching right now. It's the last day to sign up tomorrow for the 60-day holiday challenge. I felt like I needed to sing that for you really to understand how much fun it is. But what I love about this challenge is the fact that we have a beautiful online community, and that you are accountable to so many of these amazing women, that if you feel like you don't have support, or you don't have friends at home, guess what? You're about to get about 200 to 300 women who are your friends every single day. And it's not just about saying, yeah, girl, you did your workout. It's about saying, oh my gosh, you're going through a tough time. Here, let me tell you my tips and tricks. And here's a recipe for that thing that you wanted, or here's what I did, or here's how I manage it with my 3 kids, or being a full-time nurse along with another job, or being a single mom. It's really about finding those women who relate to you in this community and connecting. And another thing is the workouts are quick and you can do them anywhere. So 3 workouts per week. This really is from beginner to advanced. I have everything in between. It's about forgiveness. It's about mindfulness. It's about learning the tips and tricks to stop the insane Captain Insano cycle that we put ourselves through. So, the 60-day challenge is online right now at busygirl.tv to sign up for. Tomorrow is the last day to join. So 60 days, best transformation wins $500. How much could that help on your Christmas list? And, we do a lot of other fun stuff, fun prizes along the way. We actually have a book club in there. We do homework for personal growth. This is all about personal growth. So if you haven't been able to get to your goals before, it's probably because you've been missing a few very essential tools with learning how to cope, learning how to forgive, learning how to become more mindful, learning the step-by-steps, and that it's a million little right actions. It's not about all or nothing. We got to totally ditch that attitude. So come on over. I want to support you guys. I want to be a part of your journey through the holiday season. So busygirl.tv, you can join tonight. I can't wait to put you in that Facebook group so that you can see how freaking awesome these girls are. Sorry, but truly these women are yes, I'm partial, but these women are truly just supporting and loving and taking each other by the hand and doing this together, because that's what makes it really, really fun. We celebrate our goals together and we support each other when we need it most. So I can't wait to talk to you guys on the Facebook page. I hope that you loved this webinar. This is going to be on my site as of, I believe, tomorrow. So if you're on live right now, you can share this with your friends. You can share this with your family. If you heard some tips in here that you absolutely loved, I would love for you to share the love. That's how we get this message out there. Thank you so, so much for joining me tonight, you guys. I feel like this is a great way for me to connect with you. I would love to hear your comments and any questions that you have. So leave them on my website or pop over to my Facebook page, because I really love connecting with my community and knowing what's going on out there. For those of you who this is the first time on one of my webinars, I love hearing different topics that come up because I want to talk about them. I want to film them on my blogs that I do every single week and really get to the heart of what's going on, because it's about getting to the root of the problem and training our minds and the thought process and the way that we think. So along with this 60-day challenge, I do want to let you guys know that we are going to be doing a launch for the Bliss Project, which happens in February. And we went down and we saw the property again that we had it at last year. And I am so incredibly excited to connect with all of you. So if all of you want to meet in person, that's where we get to do it. So stay tuned for that, because that's coming out in the next couple weeks. You can actually pop over there and see some of the details up now, but full details are going up later. So thank you guys so much for coming on tonight. I hope that you join the 60-day challenge, because it is going to rock. We've got live coaching calls twice a month in that group, and it's a great way to touch base with me, always hear new ideas, to touch base with 200 to 300 of your closest friends, maybe more, we'll see, and just stay inspired through this holiday season. So I will see you guys soon, and thank you so much for joining tonight, and have a fantastic night. Mwah! Bye-bye.